2 years ago, I made the decision to leave the RBZ at my brother's house in Portland, Oregon, while I took my new opportunity overseas. And today, I've traveled back to Portland to get the RBZ up and running again. Today is day one. I have about 8 or 9 days till I'm on a plane back to Germany, and I have a lot to get done in that short amount of time. We're going to unwrap the car, see it again for the first time. I came in late last night, man, I don't even want to look at it yet. I want to see it with you guys, experience it again. It's weird to like own a car and only see it in pictures for several years now. So I'm excited to see it in person again. I want to take some time today to go through all the parts, talk about everything that we're swapping out, everything that we're gonna do, probably clean up the car, push it outside, see if we can get it started, because I know the battery is super dead, and unfortunately the Braille batteries are on back order, so hopefully we get one in time. Maybe we can go for a drive. Let's do it, man. First thing I need to do is open up the door, get some light in here, then let's uncover the Z. I've been told that over the last few years, my dad has made a couple trips up here to Oregon, and while cleaning out their garage, have brought stuff and just thrown it in my car. So yeah, not sure what I'm gonna find in there. I guess we'll just do it together. Oh my God. I forgot how beautiful the paint was, man. Like legit. It's just so good. It's just so good, man. It's so good in person just to see this freaking car, man. It's a little dirty, a little dusty, but I mean, 2 years, it's had a cover on. It's great. It's awesome. So yeah, let's open it up. Let's pop the hood. Let's see what all the commotion's about, right? Like that's what we're here for. And then we'll look at what's been put in here as a storage unit, make some choices about it. I want to talk about all the parts we have, this huge box, those boxes over there, and what I'm actually here to do in such a short amount of time. Oh, that click. Oh, it still smells the same too. Oh my gosh, dude. Like, it smells great in here. It smells just like the freaking leather smelled. It doesn't, oh man, it's like instant nostalgia memories. Oh my gosh, let's pull the pop hood. Whew, here we go. Oh yeah. Freaking awesome. It's incredible, having spent this last year working on the Stagia, how much more room is in this engine bay. Like with the Stagia, like my side here is super cramped, but yet I have way much more room in the front. I was actually just reading through an old post the other day about why the air filters are there and not close to the front, and it was all because basically the wheel tubs like just don't allow it. It's just crazy to see, just looking at it now with so much more room side to side and so much less room front to back. Pretty wild. In pictures, this looks so much more congested and complicated and cluttered. Now that I see it again in person, like it just doesn't. And that's exciting because it's just weird. It's weird what you get accustomed to. Wow, man. This is awesome. This is awesome. So I already know that the battery is freaking completely dead. I know that my brother tried to trickle charge it. It just like went and it was dead. So that's a no-go. Let me pop open the back and see what cool surprises my dad has left for me in there. Oh yeah. Okay. Some dishes, more dishes. These are trays for Atari games and more dishes, and it's all in boxes, which is really good. Let me pull these out and find a quick place for them, and then I think we're gonna push the car out into the light. We're not gonna work on it in this garage. We're gonna work on it in my brother's shop I'll be right back. Found some stuff. Yeah, man, it was funny when I went to go sit in it. I just forgot how low this car is and felt like I fell into it, but so good. So this seems kind of weird to even say, but perhaps there's some of you that don't even know what this is, which would be mind-boggling, to be quite honest, because that's kind of like what I have been doing for a long time. But anyway, if you don't know, this is just a little project I had once upon a time that I didn't bring with me to my new household, which is why I started the Stadia, because dude got to be wrenching, man. Dude got to be wrenching because it's good for mental health and artistic abilities, and that's the way I express myself and all that good stuff. This is a project car I built a few years ago, took me several years to build, made a little YouTube series about it, and yeah, the RBZ, man. What happened with this thing? I was moving from Texas. We decided to road trip from Texas to Oregon because I didn't want to take this car with me to Europe. There's just too many things could go wrong, especially with the shipping and all that other stuff. We were on our journey about 5.5, 6 hours in. We were in Albuquerque, started noticing the car was spewing oil underneath. It was very obvious that the oil was coming between the tranny and the engine. Everything points to rear main seal. I used a Cometic gasket kit, and it is what it is, guys. I've had several gaskets fail from this Cometic kit. I'm never doing anything but OEM Nissan from now on. Never. Got new gaskets, and that is the goal. The ultimate goal of this entire thing is to replace that rear main seal. But while I'm in there, we got some other things that we're going to do as well. I'm gonna finish what I started with cleaning this thing up, and then we will unbox the things, talk about all the stuff. This video is gonna be broken into several parts. Today, I think, is just kind of getting our wits about us, getting oriented, talkies, catching up, and then, yeah, it's gonna be cool. So I keep walking back and forth between that corner of the house around there to his garage, and I come around, and this is my view, dude. Oh my God. So good. I haven't even gotten to the vacuuming yet. I was just cleaning out the garage. It's not even anything, but you know, I need to stop dorking around. Let me get this knocked out, and then let's keep moving forward. It sounds crazy to say it, but I legitimately forgot just how pristine this car is. It's freaking immaculate, man. It's just, I'm not saying that the stage is trash or nothing, but it's got a ways to go. It's got a ways to go, and it's just different. It's just a different class, right? So, but hey, I found some freaking goodies. My multimeter, man. I have been looking for this for 2 years. It was under the driver's seat, so that's cool. It's good news because we want to try and start the RBZ. Like I said, the battery is super dead, and it just so happens that my brother has a battery sitting on his workbench inside his shop here. He said this battery's been sitting here for 10 years. Let's see if there's anything on it. There's 2.5 volts. I'm gonna put it on the charger. All right, let's see if that can get us some juice. It would be way more helpful to have a loose battery to be able to take around and use over the course of the week rather than trying to use jump start and stuff. Oh, that looks familiar. Probably his. I don't know. Here is his Asuna. Since the last time we were together, so much work has happened to it. There's a little sneak peek. I don't want to talk about that till he's here. Maybe that's something we'll do tonight when he gets home. This place has way more lighting and a lot more floor space. The only problem is the front to back space, which I think if we take the bumper off the Z, we'll be good to go. Oh. All right, last piece of business. I'm gonna move the RBZ over to the corner of his house here because you could see all these bird splattings, and I think if I leave it here, it's only a matter of time before they show up and make a mess. Best course of action for now. So let me do that. I think she is where she needs to be for now, hanging out right here in the front of the place. I'm not gonna mess with the engine bay right now. Like, it's just insane how still clean it is. I noticed a while back how yellow this had become, and now, like, actually on camera it's really yellow. It looks way more yellow in camera than it does in person. Could just be belt dust on the inside, could actually be from the heat. I don't know, but eventually at some point we'll get that taken care of. Really just nothing more than just some dust and sand, probably some old leftover El Paso sand right there on the frame rail. But everything else looks super good, super fine. Couple cobwebs here and there, and yeah, hopefully that battery charges, we could bring it out here and jump it. I would actually like to get this thing started up and maybe go for a drive. Again, I realize that the rear main seal is leaking. Extremely problematic when you're on a cross-country trip and you've got like 2,000 miles to go. Not problematic in and around town. I'm really not worried at this point about oil leaking. It was more the fear of driving across country and having the engine go dry. It would actually be somewhat helpful, I guess you could say, if we did leak a little bit of oil, like some fresh leak at the rear main seal, so that when I take things apart, I really know, okay, yeah, no crap, that was the problem. Hopefully tonight, when we take this into his shop, we're driving it in. So without any more further oogling, googling, and all that stuff over her, man, we need to talk about what we are doing. I want to go ahead and pull these parts out here. I want to kind of lay everything out. The key goal is that rear main seal, but as you can see, there are a lot of other things that I want to get done. Just like the Stagia, the only thing we went in to replace was that servo on the heater box, and then it was the heater core, and then it was everything coolant, and then it was the turbo, and then it was like, if there was coolant running through it, we replaced it, and then we upgraded the intake, and then all the piping, and that's kind of what we're doing here. You know, like, while you're in there, get it right, you know what I'm saying? So let's talk a little bit about other things that were going on with the RBZ. As you may or may not know, because I don't really know how much I talked about this, the RBZ was originally an automatic, and before I ever even did the RB swap, I changed it from an automatic to a manual transmission. I got that manual transmission from a guy who was selling a Z up on the north shore of Oahu, and he was selling the car for $1,500. It had about 175,000 miles on it, tons of rust, it had holes in it, it was clapped out, but at least it was a 5-speed to get the process started. Wasn't the best 5-speed, but it was good enough. Over time, it started developing a grind in the first gear, fourth gear, and fifth gear. It's just a matter of time with the transmissions. That's problem number one. Problem number two is, when I was originally doing all of the research for the swap, you know, my mentor, my source of information was Scott. In his original posts, he used a non-turbo stage 4 clutch on an RB26 flywheel. The clutch is one thing that I know is going to limit us at some point in time. And while I would like to do a like dual plate clutch or something like that, I'm sticking with, you know, something that I know works, it's reliable, and I'm beefing up the clutch to a stronger twin turbo clutch.
At this moment, he'd later realize he f***ed up.
Lastly, one of the things that was happening when I was shifting gears, I'd push the clutch pedal in and I'd be bringing the clutch pedal back out. There would be a squeak. It would happen every single time. I don't know if it was my throwout bearing or what it was. Super, super annoying. So definitely a throwout bearing is in the works for that. And then lastly, one of the things that we had to do because of the way the engine mount kit was made, the car was sitting back half an inch. We determined that the reason why it sat back that way is because it's pretty obvious to me the way the fabricators made it. They mocked up the engine with the trans mount backwards, which creates that half an inch difference. So we had to create our own custom shifter mount, which is kind of a hack job, and it's already failed on us once. If you remember in Texas, the shifter failed on us. And like I said, I have 8 days to do all of it. So without any further ado, let's unbox some stuff and show what we got going on. Okay, I want to save the big one for last. So let's look into box number 1. The first thing that I got is the Z1 Motorsports short throw shifter. It does have like the OEM style bottom, which I'm pretty excited about. I've heard good things of these. Hopefully that is a good piece. We have the Z-Speed solid shift brace that will get rid of the janky stuff that we've got going on. The hardware for that, and base plate. Hopefully the base plate is fine. As I said, you know, everything is shifted back half an inch. It's got grooves, so hopefully we can slide it front to back. Excited about that piece. That's out in that box. While we're in there, might as well, right? So ARP clutch bolts. We got flywheel bolts. 2 Nissan OEM rear main seals. Why 2? Because as I said, we have limited time. We've got 1 shot to get this right. So in case I mess one up, we've got a second. That's important. A new gasket for the plate that goes inside the bell housing where the input shaft comes through, because we're gonna have to be taking that plate off to swap it between bell housings. Should be a throwout bearing. Free mouse pad. That's dope. Thank you, Z1. Appreciate that. Some slaps. Here's our new disc, and we went with the full race sprung hub clutch disc. That should be beefy AF. And then in here, clutch alignment tool, pilot bearing, and let's see here. Yep, that's the clutch disc or the pressure plate. Okay, that appears to be it for that. So like I said, the transmission that's in the car now is a non-turbo transmission. This is the 98 plus J-Spec tranny 5-speed. No, I'm not going with the CD09 just because, man, right now is not the time to try and do new things. Plus there's a lot of other crap that would have to switch out. Me and Lebs, if you guys are familiar with the RBZ, he lives in Arizona. We've actually gone back and forth, the RB26 swap into a Z with the CD09. You see people doing that in like the 240 chassis, the Sylvia chassis. But in the Z chassis, like it would be brand new territory. We've talked about kind of collabing our way ahead for that. The 6-speed, the 6 gear would be awesome, but I wanted to go ahead and stick with a 5-speed, and again, everything's already made for it. It's a plug and play, and it's going to be beefier. Because it's a twin turbo, we have to have a different speedo sensor. So that is a retainer pin for the speedo gear, and this is the actual speedo sensor speed. All that's in there. Some more stickers, and lastly, this guy. Oh yeah, wow, it's pretty. And it has brand new reverse and neutral safety switches, which is freaking awesome. Little clips for the wiring. Oh, got some oil. So it's full of transmission oil. It's used just for transport, so the insides don't get mucked up. You're not supposed to drive on it, so we'll have to drain that out. Well, we got to drain it anyway, because if you remember back from building the Franken's mission, right, we've got to take it apart right from here, separate this bell housing off. We'll need to put the RB26 bell housing on. Before we do that, we have to get the old one out. We have to separate that. Thinking about 3 or 4 days from now is when we'll be building the new Franken's mission, and hopefully this thing's going back up in the car. It's almost Labor Day weekend. By the time you've seen this, it will have been, maybe it won't, maybe I'll already edit it, maybe it won't be till I get back. So it could be the future or the past, depending on the time and the when, or this is years later and it's already happened. We also need to get our flywheel surfaced as well. Hopefully not. Hopefully it looks great. The car's only had 10,000 miles on it. It hasn't been aggressive, so it should be fine, but we'll take a look at it. Obviously, if there's any hot spots, we'll just get it surfaced, and yeah, we'll be good to go. I think this is everything I need, except for fluids. I'm gonna take a break for now, go get some lunch, eat some chips. Back in America for the first time in 2 years. You know what I'm gonna go get? I'm gonna go get a Wendy's double bacon cheeseburger, because Wendy's is my jam. And there's my girl. Hey.
Hi.
Are we doing lunch together? Are you going for a walk? Or do you not go for lunch?
Yes, we can.
We'll figure it out. Dude, you can't go wrong with Wendy's, especially when they do it just right and the grease comes down your elbows. So, yeah, we'll see. Anyway, I'll talk to you guys later. I actually need to charge the camera. All right, it's been a long day, man, and I have been doing errands all day. Not much more on the car. Wanted to get a lot of my side quests done while it's day one and I don't run out of time. Needed to get a phone for my kid, needed to do some other stuff. Actually installed a new garage door opener for my sister-in-law. And now the dude is home and we just been hanging out in his shop looking at the Asuna and admiring it, and I thought I'd go ahead and grab you guys. There's been a lot of different stuff. If you remember the last time we were together, right? As with any project car, it's the fabrication part that takes the most time.
And now we just gotta make the engine bay all sexy like.
That's right.
Can't have balls without them looking sexy. You cut that out.
What's that? We were talking about his build, and we actually stripped the engine bay just on a whim out of nowhere, completely gutted it all. Now it's all back together, man. But before I show you the car, let him talk about the journey so far.
The journey so far has been really complicated. Everything has been fabricated. Can't really just buy parts for this car. It's been complicated, it's been troublesome, it's been very difficult, but we're pressing through.
Pressing through. You ready to show the people?
Oh, show them thanks.
Dude, look at this. Like he said, he hooked up with a guy.
A friend of mine down the street.
Been working on all the things. Obviously, the engine wasn't in last time. He's been doing all the hosing, all the piping, all the things. Full custom exhaust system all the way from the turbo back. You could see full custom manifold has been made. All the piping here, blow-off valve, wastegate that's straight dump into the atmosphere. Turbo is in a freaking sweet position. Just perfectly does this little whoop-de-woo right into the front mount intercooler down here. And then as you can see up there into the manifold, small little radiator. Everything is a very, very good, tight fit. A little bit of room for activities, but we'll just say that's probably room for a bigger turbo someday.
Someday.
Someday. At this point, it's just like odds and ends inside the engine bay, the wiring, engine management system. That's probably the next big question mark.
Just piping some water, engine management, wiring, tuning eventually, and then starting.
Yeah. But it's way closer than it was. Last time, this was a complete car with no engine. Now it's back to being a very complete car with an engine. We've talked about multiple times. Sometimes it's better to just sit here and spend hours thinking about what to do next rather than just doing it. I think I've talked about this before, but you know, Chris is an art teacher, so he's all about visualization. He's all about art. And you know, I've talked many times about like, that's what working on cars is to me. It's art. It's like my therapy. It's my way of expressing myself. Used to be a pencil on canvas, now it's machinery in a car. It's awesome to see this guy going from canvas to cars as well, and this build is definitely no different. It is looking freaking super dope, super fine.
I bring a lot of my painting into my car, and I do follow a lot of Bob Ross, so we don't make mistakes. We make happy little accidents.
Awesome. Oh, you got fuel line and everything. Oh, okay. All right. I'm guessing you learned a lesson from the last time we were together and you did full PTFE lines.
I did not. I did not. Yeah.
So you're not parking at the house garage.
Well, we shall see. Happy little accidents.
Been charging this all day. We started at 2.5 volts. It is now up to where it is good to go. I think we're gonna get ready to move this into the other garage. We gotta play some car rodeo. We're gonna try and start the RBZ. If we could just start it and just move it around the block, that'd be great. All right, so we finished moving all the cars around. Cameron, is it?
Cameron.
Cameron is, hold on, let me show you Cameron. Cameron. He's inside the garage. We're gonna put the other garage, or in the shop, I should say. And successfully charged this battery. You said it's 10 years old?
Minimum.
It's got acid on it. It's fine. It's fine. If we start, we drive. If we don't start, we push. So let's start the car. First start after 2 years. Oh, lots of lights. That's a good sign. Here we go. Dead. I say we jump it. All right, so we're hooked up. We're gonna jump off his Mazda 3, which honestly has a really good exhaust. You wanna rev it? And before anybody says anything about, hey, BC, your car's been sitting for 2 years, you should like prime it. No, he starts it regularly. It's just over time, the battery just can't keep up. Because Z's, if you don't know, have an extreme amount of parasitic loss. They freaking suck when it comes to like being vampires, battery vampires. All right, here we go. All right. Oh yeah. Like a freaking dream.
It's alive!
Oh yeah. Oh man. I wish the tires weren't low because I want to go for a drive. Ah! Oh yeah. Sweet. It's good to see it running again. It's good to hear it running again. We're gonna leave it connected for a little bit because it might want to die right away. I don't know, alternator should be good, but man, I'm pretty sure the gas is pretty old. I know he put some stabilizer in it, but oh baby.